Hello you guys, this is William and this is Bushido Gamer, game with passion and game with honor. So, today we got a new game. This game is called Heroes. So far we've been doing quite a few games. We did some deck builders, then we went into did a Master Dragon, we did Escape from Dulce, we did Eternal Kings. So for all of you who have been watching us, I want to say thank you from the deepest part of my heart. I know I haven't got much feedback from you guys, but the fact that you guys are watching it means a lot. You know, it actually does, because this is my first time doing this, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the videos. I hope that they are helping out to understand some of these games or whatever, and kind of open your eyes to some games that's out there. So this game right here, Heroes. This is done by Lion Games and Rebel. And I believe, let me see, I forgot when it came out. 2015 was when this game came out. So it's about a 4-year-old game, going on 5 almost or so. So this game is kind of a deck builder, and kind of not. It's like playing Magic the Gathering with dice involved. So let's go into the game. So I'm going to move this out the way. This is Heroes. This is the board. I got the game because it had this really cool picture of like this little demon dragon looking thing on the front, and well, you know, I'm a sucker for dragons, so it looked pretty cool, so I got it. Alright, so how did this game play out? So I got all the stuff in the game on the field or on the tape right now, and we're gonna go through what these are. So it's a 4-player game. You can play 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people, okay? But it's a 2 to 4 player game. Each player will start with one of these boards. Okay, now these boards are double-sided. If it's like your very first time, or you're just kind of starting out playing the game, you want to play the side that is kind of colored and actually has pictures on the board that kind of give you a clue of where to put your army pieces. On the other side, it's not colored. It means that you can actually put your army pieces that you're going to have anywhere that you want. Okay. But cool thing is on the bottom, it does give you some little tips about what to do, how to do the dispel magic, how to learn new spells, how to draw cards or draw spells, how to cast a spell, kind of give you information. And then you have your life pointers, which is right here on the top. So you start off with 21 points. Every time you take damage, that goes down until you get to 1. And when you get to 0, then you're basically dead. The game is over for you. Okay. Now, there's 4 players in this game. Each one of the boards depicts a certain hero. So you do have 4 heroes, and they are color coded heroes. I'm going to cut that. All right. So you have your green, you have your blue, your red, and then you have your basically black. It's like dark purple, so it's basically black. Essentially, it's almost the same colors you have in Magic. That's what I say. It's just like playing Magic the Gathering. Only one you're missing in here would be white, which is fine because, you know, the white we need that. Anyway, so your green one, his name is Galeon, and he looks kind of like a warrior type guy or something like that. The blue one is Xantania, and then you have Vornoroth for the red. You can red fire, same thing, and then you have Celia for the green, or for the black, which is basically purple. Now each one of the hero cards are double-sided. So like when you first start in the game, you're going to play the heroes. You want to play the hero side that doesn't have any of the effect on it. Okay. The reason why is because on the other side, the effects kind of they can take effect based off of what kind of spells you have in your hand, or what kind of spells you cast. You might actually take additional wounds, which are your damage, depending on what type of spell you have out there. So like for example, for the purple or green, we'll just call it purple for now. It's black, but you'll see. It says after you have stopped the game, the hero suffers 1 wound per each earth symbol. All air spells that you cast get 1 free enhancement. So that's for the purple guy. For the red, it says after the hero stopped the game, you suffer 1 wound for each water symbol, because the red is a fire. So the alternative to that would be blue, which would be fire. Obviously. All fire spells you get, or that you cast, get 1 free enhancement. For the blue, this is going to be your water spells, and you suffer damage for each fire symbol that you have. And I'm going to explain the symbols in a minute. And then for green, this is going to be your earth. you take damage for each air symbol, and all earth spells you cast or get one free enhancement. So each one, just like in Magic, where you have opposite colors or enemies of each other, in here you have the same thing. Your red and black or purple are enemies. Your blue and red are enemies. Okay. So when you start a game off, if it's your first time playing it, you're going to want to probably play this section that doesn't have any of the extra text in there until you get a good grasp of the game, and then you flip it over and you start playing the other side for a little bit more advanced play. Now, those are your 4 heroes. Each of your heroes also has a specific spell or a spell that is specific to them. And what I mean by this is that you have the spell name and then you have the hero's name right underneath the spell name, so you know which one it goes to. Plus, they're also color coded: blue, green, purple, and then your red. Okay, so this is one of the cards that will be in your starting deck when you start the game off with your hero. Okay, so let's move these out the way. Kind of go into more of the other parts of the game. So we have our heroes. We have our hero spells. They go accordingly. And then these are your basic spells. So your basic spells, you have 3 basic spells. You have your magic missile, you have your command, and then you have your dispel. Now, when you start off your deck, you're going to start off with several of these. So you're going to start off with 2 magic missiles, 2 commands, and 1 dispel for each person's deck, along with your regular spells. So you start off with about 6 cards, and then you're going to draw, or you're going to obtain 10 more. So we're going to go with those are. So these are your basic spells. Then you have your other spells, and these are not really spells. These are more like your army. This is your creatures and stuff that you can recruit to your army. Okay. So when you start the game off, as you know, you're going to have this. You're going to have this board. One of these spots is going to be for your hero. So if you're looking at the color side, it actually shows you what hero it is. In this case, this particular board is for the water, so that's for the blue. So we're going to put a hero right here. That's going to go into that spot. That's where this picture is. The other picture are other army units that you can pick up. The 2 that's over here, those are basically blank ones. You're not going to put anything in there now, unless you pick up, like I say, a duplicate army unit that doesn't fit, and you can put them over there. On the other side, however, you can put your army units wherever you decide you want to kind of put them out there, because it's not really coded to like a specific area. So beginner side, advanced side. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this right here so you can see it. So we're gonna put our blue hero right here, and then from this deck right here, we're gonna choose. We have red, green, blue, and purple. So since I'm using my blue, I'm going to actually choose I'm going to choose my blue deck right here, which is all my blue creatures. And what I'm going to do in here, what I'm looking for is, when you start the game off, you can select armor units or creatures basically out of this deck to put onto the play. Those will be the only creatures that you'll have in play for the whole entire game. This is where the replay comes in here, because this is a good deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is 20. 1, 2, 3. So there are 23 different cards inside this deck. You need a value of 10. What I mean by value of 10, on the card there's 2 icons that look like helmets. Those are your activation icons. And right next to that, in the color that matches the card, is a number. So for each one, like this one here is 2. So if I chose this one, that's 2 right there. And I need up to the value of 10, so let's try to do this one here. This is also 2, so that's 4. The Leviathan, that one is 3, so that's 7 right there. And I'm going to do this right here. This is 1, so that's 8. And I'm going to do another. Let me see. Let's do another one of those guys. Where they at? That's a siren. Okay. Let me do this other Triton. That one is 10. So this is my value of 10 for my army. So I have, this is worth 2, this is worth 2, this is worth 3, this is worth 1, this is 2. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. So I have my 10. So I mean, this place is not going to be used right now because I didn't use them. But once I choose my starting army, or my army, that's all the cards I'm going to use. That's all the creatures I'm going to have on the game for the whole entire game. Which means the rest of these put aside. I mean, there's quite a few cards in here that I'm not using. With me, the next time I play, I'm like, you know what, I might try. I might want to check it. I want to change it out a little bit. How about I go with 2 Leviathans and then do something else and do a different army. This is where the replay value comes into play on this one. Okay, so we're going to put these aside. All right, now once you have your starting army, then you also want to make sure that you got your hero card on here on the field. Your hero's on the field too. Okay, you take one of the tokens, you put it on here. This is your life points, and it's going to keep track of your life point as you go down. Okay, and then you get your basic your starting deck. So your starting deck, you're going to start off, of course, with the spell card that matches your color or your person. Is going to have the name right there. So that's your first card. You're going to take 1 dispel card. You're going to take 2 magic missiles, and you're going to take 2 commands. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives me 6 cards we're going to start off with. So let's do it. We're going to go ahead and go through. We're going to go through a game, but let me see. Before we go into the game, we finish putting out the rest of what the information is on here. So let's set this aside. Okay. Now the other deck, the big deck right here. This is all the spells. These contain all 4 colors. So red, blue, purple, and green spells. Now, what spells you're going to get? You shuffle it up. Once you have it shuffled, you put them into 2 rows of 4. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your first row. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's your second row. And then your deck is going to sit on top of it. Now, when you start the game off, you're going to go ahead and choose up to, I believe it was 3 additional cards from here, but you have to choose from the bottom row before you can choose from the top row. Now during the game, if you roll a certain symbol, which is a card symbol, if you roll 4 of them, then you can pick up a spell from the bottom row. If you roll 5, then you can pick up one from the bottom row or the top row. So let's say if I'm blue, so I took this spell from the bottom row, that goes in mine. The top row one moves down, and then we expose another card from the deck. Okay, and then another person gets there, and then I go and get my second one. And so I take this one, add it to my thing. Yes, you do not have to, or actually I should say no, you don't have to only pick spells that are of your color. You can pick red spells, green spells, blue, or purple spells, even if you're a blue person. Just keep in mind, if you're playing the advanced format of it, when you do those blue spells, when you do that, you just stop. And if you're playing red, you're going to take damage. There's a couple of wounds for it. You can take at least 1 wound damage. But that doesn't mean you can't play those spells. Okay, so as you keep going, as you go through the game, as you pick up new spells, they're going to keep filling in from the deck and moving each one down. Okay. Okay. Now the next thing here is your permanent spell markers. So these permanent spell markers are used for certain spells. So when you play those certain spells, you basically take that spell and you're going to put it out there on the field, on one of your characters or something like that. Depending on what the spell is, that just kind of marks it so you know that that spell is a pertinent spell. It's going to be in effect. It's going to stay in effect for a while until it gets dispelled. Okay, so you have these markers for I believe 6 different spells. And you have your player marker here. Now, next to that, you have 2 other little tokens. So you have the tokens right here, which are a skull. And you have another token that looks like kind of like a fireball spell, something like that. The skulls are used for wounds. I'm going to show you how that works in a minute when I do this one. But the skulls are used for wounds. Every time you hurt another creature, then you're putting wounds on it until it has more wounds than it can handle, and then it dies. And the other tokens, you're going to use those for other things as well too. Then the last thing on here are the dice. So this is where a little luck as far as drawing goes into concern, or dice roll goes into concern. No. Uh-oh. I'll fix that. Okay. It's okay. All right. Cut that. Okay, so this right here, you have the dice roll. This is where the dice roll comes into play. So each dice has several symbols. You have a helmet, which is going to use to activate cards. And then you have the fireball for red. You have the teardrop for blue. You have the little purple fireball for purple, and then you have the little green tree for the green. And then you have a little one that looks like a rectangle. This is your card. Okay, this is a draw card. Okay, so now that we have all the items of what this is, let's go into the setup for this, okay? So I'm going to go here and let's move these up the way. Alright, so I'm going to choose, what's that one, green? Okay, we'll choose green. Okay, so I'm going to do a setup with a two-player setup where you have green versus blue. Okay, so move everything out the way. Alright, so we have green, we have blue. Now when you set these up, you're actually going to set them opposing each other. So the numbers are going to be in the center, like connecting to each other, and then the rest of the cards will be playing on each side. So if I have somebody here and I have somebody this side here, okay? Now, so we have blue. So we're going to choose our blue hero, take his spell. Take the hero himself. The other guy is a green hero. Take him. The rest of these cards I'm going to put on the side. Put these in blue. Okay. And get the green spell for this one. Okay, those are put aside. Alright, so now 2 commands for each side. 2 magic missiles for each side. And then 1 dispel for each side. Okay, so we have our 6. You take your hero's spell, put it in there. I'm going to do a quick little shuffle. Okay, so that one's there. Take the hero spell, put it inside here. Same thing. Do a little shuffle. Okay, now you take a hero, put the hero on the side right here. We got our spell tokens. I'm just going to put these over here on the side. You're going to get 6 dice for each player. So this player has 6, and I have my 6. So each player is going to start off with 6 dice. Okay, now you have more dice to handle for everything, but that's what I'm going to right now. Okay, now the next part of setup, you have your little starting hand or deck, I should say. So the next part of setup is going to be to choose your army units. Okay. So I want to put a value of 10. I'm going to do it for blue first. So blue's hero is going to go right here. I'm using the beginner side. Okay. So it already has a setup of where each one goes. So I'm going to do my Leviathan. He's worth 3. He has an ability, says when it's exposed. I'm explaining exposed. You may remove any opponent's creature with a cost of 2 or less from play. So he's pretty powerful. And he's worth 3. I'm going to put a nymph. She can completely heal any creature that's adjacent to her. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and put out a water elemental. With him, I can enhance any permanent water spell in play. So he's 1. That was 3. That's 6. And then I want to fill this up with. Let me see. We're going to go to Triton. So we got a Triton right here. He's 2. And we'll do another Triton on this side. Both of these say you may inflict 2 wounds physical to any opponent's being. Alright, so I chose my heroes. Now for green, I'm going to choose his. Put his hero up on the field. And I'm going to do the beginner side, so I'm going to put this on the non-tech side. Okay. Now let's see what we're going to do. We're going to do. I'm going to do a gnome. May activate any golem that has not been activated during the current action. So I'm going to put a gnome right there. That's 1. I'm going to do a golem, which is 2. And I'm going to use his big guy, which is a hydra. Hydra is 3, so that gives us 6 right there. And then I'm going to use the Dwarf. He's also 2. He has a static ability. Each time the Dwarf suffers magic wounds, then they're reduced to 1, which is pretty cool. And then I'm going to do another. Use 2, right? I think it was 1. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll do another golem. Actually, I want to do that earth elemental. Oh, okay, I'll do another golem. So what do you say? The big guy is actually an earth elemental, but I'm going to save him for next time, another time. Okay, so we have that. We're going to take our token and put it on our life points. So 21 and 21. This side has 10, this side has 10. Okay? We got our dice. Now we set up our deck. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little shuffle on this one. And this is where it kind of plays almost like a deck builder, because you're going to be buying spells. Well, not really buying spells, but you're going to be drawing spells at times. So first we're going to put our 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. That's our first row. And then second row. Then I'm just going to put my deck right here on the side so you can see it easy. Okay? So now we have our decks out. That sounds good. Now we have our deck, our spells we're going to choose from, our field. Okay? So what we're going to do is now choose 3 cards one at a time from the available spells. So we're going to say, okay, green's going to go first. Green's going to take this one right here. That's the free one. That's 1. This moves down. Put another one in this place. I'm going to take this one for me, for the blue. So that's 1. Move this one down and fill it up another space. And green says, okay, so I'm going to take Rage. That's like a good one. I don't know what it does. Bring it down, fill the space up. The blue is going to take Freezing, because it's his own color anyway. That's the second one. Now they each get 1 more. Green's going to take Healing. That's his third one. Bring this down. Bring this right here. Blue's going to take this red one right here. Bring this down and fill this up. Okay. So now they have the decks. Now we're going to shuffle them up again. And then you're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Alright, other side goes and do the same thing. And draw 2, 3, 4 cards. Okay. Now, the initial setup is complete. Now it's time to start the game. So you decide who goes first. Actually, you don't really go first. You actually play at the same time. It is a simultaneous gameplay. So what happens with this is that those 6 dice that you have, each player rolls those 6 dice at the same time. So I'm just going to roll 1 just to show as an example. So if I roll my dice, and what I'm doing is I look at my hand first, right? I look at my hand, I see, okay, what do I want to hear? What do I want in here that I want to be able to cast? Well, I'm thinking that I might go for Daze, which is a blue spell. Activation cost of all of this player's creatures is increased by 1 for a turn. Or I can do the Energy Drain, where I can draw. It's an instant. I can draw a card. Choose any player who must discard one of their hands at one of their card hands at once. You know, actually, I want to do this one. So this one only costs 4 blue. So my goal when I roll these is I want to try to probably save up the blues, so I can go ahead and pick and draw one and use one of my spells in my hand, or get the cards so I can either draw a card from my deck or pick up a spell from here. Now this first row, I actually have 4 of the helmets. Now the helmets are used to do actions which are creatures. Okay, so like for example, for my Leviathan, it's 3 helmets. It's 3 helmets to activate his effect, his ability. So I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that and wipe out one of his people if they have anything that has a cost of 2 or less, which he has like 3, 4 of them that can do that. So I can wipe out a bunch of them right there, or one of them at least. Or I can use one of them and do an attack with one of my guys. Okay. But in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it where I'm gonna keep one of my helmets, and I'm gonna keep my my card, and then I'm gonna continue rolling. Now, like I said, this is a simultaneous gameplay, which means that both players keep rolling until one player has gotten what they want and they yell stop. Okay, so if in the event we're rolling, and so okay, I'm gonna use these. This guy's already used over here, and we're rolling again. And the other guy's rolling, and they're like, okay, cool, stop. And the other person's like, shit, okay, so he got his last roll. All right, and then that's it. He stays with what he has. He can't do anymore. This player yells stop, so he stopped the game. So it's going to go on him. He has both an advantage and a disadvantage. The advantage is that he now has saved what he wants to save, and the other person may not have saved what they want. But the disadvantage is that the other person is able to keep what they want to keep and then re-roll the dice, while the person who stopped has to re-roll all the dice, and they don't get to keep anything. So that's a disadvantage for it. In this case, I got five flames and one helmet, and that was useless because I can't use pretty much any of them except for I can use my magic missile. That's about it, but I can't use any of the cards in my hand. So that kind of sucks. So this one has 3 helmets, 2 purple, and 1 flame. And the cards in his hand, only one thing you can do anything with those. Okay. So the person who yells stop, he's the person with the player marker. He's the person who gets the player marker. So that way you know who said stop. Okay. So I'm gonna say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna use my one helmet, and this guy, he's going to attack. Now on the cards, on the creatures, they have 3 symbols on the top. The first symbol on your left hand side is a number. That is how much damage they deal. The second symbol is an arrow. Now it could be a single arrow. It could be an arrow that has this one going this way. It has an arrow that's going this way. It's like a trident going 3 different ways. So depending on what arrow that is, that actually tells you which creature you can attack. If it's straight, then you have to attack the one that's directly across from you. If it's a straight arrow and an angle, then that means you can attack the first creature that's in front of you, or the one to the right or left, depending on what side the angle the arrow is. If it's one where it's like 3 directions right here, that means you can actually attack any person in the middle, the left, or the right in front of you. Okay? So in this case, my water elemental has a straight arrow, so he's going to attack the person in front of me. He's going to do 1 damage to him. Oh yeah, and the last number is how much damage you can take. How much damage that creature can take. So I'm going to do 1 damage to him, and I put this on him. Now this dwarf has a static ability where each time it takes magical wounds. In this case, it actually is magical because he's a water elemental. It's reduced to 1. Now he only takes 1 damage anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I use my helmet for that. I'm gonna use my 3 fire symbols to play magic missile. With magic missile, any exposed being is an instant. I can make that being suffer one wound. So I'm going to do it on his Hydra because that's exposed. So when it says exposed, an exposed being is a being that doesn't have anybody in front of it. So like right now I have these four beings on here. They are all exposed. The one back here is not exposed because there's a Hydra in front of it. If this Hydra was to die, now that it's exposed, and so when I hit it, it would actually start doing damage to the player itself. That's the hero. So I played my turn. I don't have anything else I can do. This guy says, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and attack and use my attack with these ones, which is 3, and my Hydra. My Hydra is going to attack with 5, and it has an arrow that goes in 4 directions, or in 3 directions. So my Hydra is actually going to hit the water elemental, which is going to be 5. So this water elemental only can take 4. He's dead. So he's out the game. Which means now my Triton back here is now exposed. Okay? And those are the 3. Okay. These sides you're going to keep none of them. Plus 1 to use. And this one has 1 to use. And then they both roll for more. So we go back again. This one is blue, right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I got 2 blues. This one has a green. 2 cards, keep those, keep these 2 blues and the green, I don't want to do those. So we go ahead and roll again. And you don't have to wait for the other person to roll too. You can roll even while they're still trying to figure out what they want to keep and what they don't want to keep. The idea is you want to get your stuff before the opponent gets their stuff saved up that they want, so that you can go ahead and get the advantage on it. Stop. Okay, so stop on this side. We keep this one. Okay. So this time the player over here says stop. So this, or the second player says stop. So it's right there. He has 3 card symbols on his dice, which allows him to actually draw a card. Now, if you have 3 cards, that gets you draw 1. If you have 4 card symbols, you can draw an additional 1 for each symbol over 3. So if you have 5, you have 6, you draw your 1 for the 3, plus an additional 1 for each symbol you have that's higher than 3. So you can draw up to like 4 cards in that. Okay. So he did want to draw a card, and he has 2 skulls, one green. Green's not going to do anything for him, but the 2 skulls, he's going to activate that with his dwarf. Dwarf is going to do 3 damage to Leviathan. So, because he can, his is split into 3 directions, and Leviathan's right here, so he's going to hit him for 3. Okay. Now, yeah. And then after that, he's going to be done with that. He only got anything else to do. This one, he only got 2 cards, can't do anything with that. He has 2 waters, and really can't do anything with that. Has 1 of these, but can't do anything with that. So he's pretty much useless, nothing you can do. So you're going to just wipe everything. Actually, I'm going to keep the 2 waters and the 2 cards in this one. So now we keep going. Cool. I'm going for 3 waters at least, so I don't want to do that. This one here, keep the green. This right here, keep the green again. Come on, I want my thing. It's right here. Okay. Damn it, not again. All right, that's 4. All right, it's not gonna do anything again. Stop. Okay, stop on this side. Nothing on this side. Okay, so. All right, so we stopped it on blue. Blue has 3 waters, which actually is kind of useless because I need 4, so that's not gonna do anything. But I have 3 card symbols. I can draw a card, which is 4, so I still can't do anything. So he's pretty much useless. He can't do anything with these. Now, I believe you actually take damage. It's kind of like mana burn if you can't use anything. This one here is 4. So he's actually going to do this. He has 4. He's going to actually pick up a new spell. So he's going to pick up a red spell and put it in his hand, bring these down, bring this over right here, and then he only has 2 greens, not going to do anything much with them, and that's it. So he keep going. So this is basically how the game plays right here. I'm not going to go through the whole entire thing because it'll take too long to do that. I want to keep the video not too long. So that's how that game plays. So if you have 4 people, you have 3 people, 2 people, it could play really well. You got either one of them. Let's go into ratings for this game. So first of all, the game is pretty fun. I've played it a few times. It's kind of hard to get people to play it because I don't have many friends to come over and play anymore. I don't know why, so I gotta get some more people to play it. I will probably start bringing it to some of the conventions so that I can go and just grab people to play it. But my wife played it with me and she liked it because it was helping me kind of learn how to play the game. And I think she liked it pretty well. So gameplay, replay value, fun factor, theme, and rules. So gameplay, is it easy or not? It's pretty easy. There are some parts in here where there's a little bit of confusion. Like one of the things that I was trying to figure out was the discarding. Do you discard your hand and then draw new cards, or you just keep those in there until you draw the cards? And I did read the rule book several times, but it doesn't really mention it per se in there, so it was actually kind of hard to figure out what it is. I had to actually look online. I still didn't find it yet, so I'm still looking for that one. So I can't be certain that one. I'm not going to say too much on it. But for the gameplay, as far as easyability of play, I would give it a 4. It is a fun game, but it's not easy to pick up on the very first try. You might want to play it probably about 2, maybe 3 times, so you can really get a good hang of it. I think that's in my opinion. I mean, some people might be smarter. They just pick it up right away. But in my opinion, I'll give it a 4 because it is a little bit tough to. It has not a steep learning curve, but it's a little bit hard to really understand how to play it when you first play it a few times. Fun factor, that I would give it a 5 because a few times I did play it. I did have fun playing this game. It was a pretty fun game once you get the hang of it. And all the times I played it, I haven't got a chance to really utilize all my spells. So a lot of it I was just, okay, so I'm just going to attack and use all these things here because these creatures you have on the field are actually pretty powerful even without the spells. And the spells, it's kind of more of an enhancement to them. But fun fact there, I'll give it a 5 because it's a pretty fun game to play. For the theme, graphics, it looked really nice. They stay consistent based off of which color you're playing. So like you're playing green, you have all the earth creatures like golems, and got the dwarves because they're all the earth. They got the hydras, all these cool beings, and then like with the water stuff, you have all the water creatures and tridents, mermaids, and things like that. With purple, you got all the evil, bad stuff. With the red, you got all the fires. You got fire arrows and like no, all kind of stuff like that. So on the theme, it is pretty cool. The graphic looks nice. The artwork is pretty sweet. So I'll give it a 5 on the theme. For replay, so I mentioned earlier, this one has, I think, a really good replay value. The reason why is because you got 20, so I think I said what, 24, 23 cards in here that you can choose from, and you only choose up to a value of 10, which could be only 5 cards, might be 6 cards out of like 20 something cards, which means that the next time you play, you might choose a totally different army to have on your field. That, to me personally, that increases the replay, because if you have a game where you're always playing this exact same thing over and over again, it's always the same creature, same setup all the time, it gets redundant, it gets boring. You know, I mean, I played Magic the Gathering, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and you got people who play those games and they play like the meta decks, and like you go to a competition and everybody's playing the exact same deck because that's what's out at the time. That's the big game-winning deck at the time. And I hate that because it removes a level of creativity. So this game, I like it because the replay value to me, I think, is pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 5 for the replay because of the fact that you're not always going to have the same cards in play. One time you might say I'm gonna go with Leviathan, the other time I might go with somebody else. Let's go do that. So replay value, I'll give it a 5 on this one. The rules, okay. By now, those who've seen the videos know rules kind of usually suck. So I won't say suck, it's just that they're pretty hard to follow sometimes. So with the rules in this game, let's bring a box open here. Now here's the thing, you actually have 2 separate rule books in here. One of them is the actual full-on rule book, which is this one right here. It's about the width of the box. And then you have this smaller rule book, which is kind of like a quick start, which is pretty cool. The quick start omits a lot of information that's inside of here, but it gives you the information to just get started and get playing. Because of that, I'm going to give it a little extra points for it. But the rules itself, I read through this several times, and unless I was just missing over it, there were certain things that I did not understand how to do or what to do about. One such thing was like when it is a discarding. Do you have to discard every turn and get new cards? Do you just buy your cards and then you get new ones after you purchase new cards and you put them in your hand? It was a couple of questions I had on there that I couldn't get answered. So for that, I would give it a 3.5. However, because they have the quick start guide, that does help in regards to getting a general idea of how to play the game and how to start it up. So with that, I'm going to increase it up another point. So I'm going to give it a 4, actually a half point. So I'm going to give it a 4 on the rules on this one. I'd give it higher, but there are quite a few questions that was left unanswered inside the rule book. I'm still looking for those answers online. So because of that, I'll give it a 4 instead of at least a 4.5. So that's everything on that. I will put the website again, as always. And in fact, you probably see it on the screen right now. So this game is Heroes. It is a pretty fun game. Read through the rules a couple times, kind of get an idea. If you know somebody who has the game and know how to play it, and know how to play it well, definitely you want to have them sit you down and teach you how to play the game, because they'll probably be able to fill in the gaps that the rules fail to fill in. But other than that, it is a pretty fun game. It is actually pretty quick and in your face, because you're sitting here, both players are rolling the dice. No, I want this, want this, want this one. Keep. Okay, cool. Roll the dice again. All right, keep that one. Roll the dice again. You're rolling it. You're trying to go really fast because you want to get your stuff before your opponent gets theirs. Because if they get theirs first, it puts them in the advantage. Like, crap, I'm stuck with this crap stuff I can't use, and then you end up not being able to play anything that turn, and they can. So that right there really increases the fun value. I wish I could do it higher than 5, but 5 was the highest I'm gonna make, so it is. But that's another reason that makes it such a fun game, is because of the fact it's like Magic the Gathering, but in your face and a lot faster. And both players acting or reacting at the exact same time instead of one by one. Okay, so the game is Heroes by what's it from? Well, there's two companies. There's Rebel and there's Lion Games. So Lion Games and Rebel, I think, is a publisher. So Hero by Rebel Games and Rebel and Lion Games. It's a cool game. This came out in 2015. I recommend trying it out at least once. It's pretty cool, especially if you like Magic the Gathering kind of things. You might actually pick up this game pretty well, and you might enjoy it because you got a card right here in your face. You can just kind of work with it. Yeah, other than that, good game. Sorry for the kids in the background. So, the next game we're going to review, well, actually, you know what? I'm almost out of games. So, I'm gonna choose another game. I will put on there. There's two things that are going to happen on the next video. First, we are going to do a new game, but also I'm going to try to use my phone as a webcam and do a live stream. So next week Thursday, not Friday, but Thursday, we're going to live stream this broadcast. I'm going to live stream my game review for the first time. So I will be putting out messages all week long to remind people and invite them, get as many people on there to come and join us as possible. So next week, Thursday at about 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to go ahead and do a live stream, 8:30, 8:45ish or so. And the game that we're going to review this one, I'm running out of games. I need more games, you guys. So developers, if you're out there, hook me up. Actually, I'm going to try to see if I can get a copy of Upstage from Mike T's. So Mike, if you're doing it, I'm going to go ahead and tag you on here. So if you've seen this, I'm going to be meeting with you tomorrow. So cool. If I can get that, then I'm going to get that and do a review of that, of Upstage, which I believe is coming to Kickstarter pretty soon. So that's what we're going to do. If I can get Upstage, we're going to do Upstage tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. On Wednesday, okay? On Thursday at 8 o'clock, at about 8:30, 8:45, we're going to do that live stream for that one, as well as doing the video. Next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be over in San Diego at Kingdom Con at the Crown Valley Plaza Hotel over in San Diego. So if you are in that area, or if you're going to that convention, I will be in the game room, which is that bottom floor where all the tables are. So look for me. I want to have Death to Liberty there doing demos. If you want me to bring any of the other games that I have reviewed so you can try them out, hit me up on Facebook, send me a message, let me know, and I will be more than happy to go ahead and bring one of those games as well. Okay? So until then, all my honorable gamers, game with passion and game with honor. And you know, real quick before we leave, I had somebody ask me, why Bushido Gamer? Why did I choose the word Bushido? And they mainly asked that because they didn't know what the word Bushido meant. They actually kind of snicker, like, you call it Bushido? What is that? It's like poop. Like, but no. So Bushido is the ancient samurai code of honor. So I choose it as honor gaming. You understand? So we game with honor, as you should, and not with disrespect to your fellow gamers, because they are fellow gamers. Show each person respect as always. This is the code that I live by. So game with passion and game with honor, always. Take care, you guys.